From the basement of La Penta, this is WICR.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Sportsful. I'm your host with the most, Jersey Joe, and I'm a little tired of talking the Patriots and the Deflategate thing, so let's move on to some other NFL news. For people who don't listen to the show that much, I am as big a Marcus Mariota fan as you could possibly get. I watched him almost every game he had in college, his Oregon career. And just a great kid, just really just a guy you want to root for, you want to see do well. And we will see if he will do well at the next level in the NFL. A lot of reports coming out that the Eagles are plotting to move up in the draft to grab Marcus Mariota. Now, there's no question to get him will be very difficult from where the Eagles are. They're currently at number 20, and Marcus Mariota is projected to be one of the top 2 picks in the draft. I've seen him maybe fall a little bit in some projections, but I think for the most part, we evaluate Marcus as being the number 1 or the number 2 pick in the draft. So the Eagles are really going to have to pull an RG3 type situation or a Saint situation, what they did to get Ricky Williams. And it goes to show you that now Chip Kelly, some people think his style works in the NFL. Some people think it doesn't. I think it does. It needs to be fixed a little bit. But I think he's shown he could win a lot of games. He could get to the playoffs. I do like him. I think Chip Kelly, the thing I really like, though, is he's always changing things. I think he's never content to just leave it the way it is. He's always going to try to change things. And the thing that I'm most afraid about for Marcus in the next level is I think if someone tries to take him and make him be what he isn't, he's going to fail. But I think if somebody like Chip takes him and puts him in a system based around his skill set, he could have a tremendous deal of success in the NFL. And if anybody could make Marcus Mariota one of the most dynamic weapons in the NFL, it's Chip Kelly. Because remember, Chip Kelly was his coach at Oregon, then Mark Helfrich had him for the last 2 years. But Chip Kelly was the guy who saw him. And I think we always kind of wondered, would Chip, when we got around this time, how tempting would it be to go up there and get Marcus Mariota? Now, Chip has shown he could get a lot out of his quarterbacks. I think Nick Foles, he's played pretty well. You give him a lot of credit. I mean, when he was very healthy last year, he was tremendous. Didn't turn the ball over. He really did a good job moving that offense. LaShawn McCoy also had a great year, not as good this year, but Nick Foles played pretty well together. But I do think if you're the Eagles and you think that this is your guy, if you're Chip Kelly, and remember he has control over player personnel now, I would make the move, because the way I look at it in the NFL is you go nowhere without a quarterback. You either have one or you don't. If you don't, there's no point in building anyway, because you're not going to win anything. You need a quarterback. It's the first position you need to address. If you don't have one, you got to go get one. And if Chip really thinks that he could bring his smarts, his creative offense, which no one else seems to be able to run, he could make Marcus Mariota what he was in Oregon work in the NFL. Now, I think Marcus is definitely going to expand his game for the National Football League. He's got to. I think he's not going to be able to run like he did in college, because he's tall, very big, around 6'5", but he doesn't have a ton of muscle. He's a little slim, so I think he's got to beef up a little bit for the NFL. But he's got Maserati. I mean, there's a reason why his nickname is Marcus Maserati Mariota. The kid has some of the greatest speed you'll ever see. I just think he's got a good arm. He can get the ball down the field. He's very smart, very good with deception, which is key in the NFL. Part of the hardest transition from college to the NFL is being able to read, comprehend a defense. Marcus Mariota is a smart kid. He could figure it out. He's excellent at the deception game, and that's part of the big thing of Chip Kelly's offense. It's always been deception. Timing, spacing, fooling the defense, making them kind of read it incorrectly, looking at the wrong guy. Marcus Mariota has done such a good job at evolving that under Mark Helfrich with that offense. He's become a pro at it, and I think when you look at him, this possibility is very strong. Now, here's where you are if you're the Eagles, which makes it tough. You've shown you could win games with Nick Foles. You've got a lot of good things on your team, a good offensive roster. Defensively, you need a lot of help. This is a draft where, and let's look, the Eagles, it's not like they were that far off from the playoffs last year. That rough loss to the Cowboys, they did beat them at their own place. But I think for the most part, Dallas just had a spectacular season. The Eagles were right there the whole way until Nick Foles got hurt and Mark Sanchez had to come in. We all know what happens when Mark Sanchez comes in. Not good things. So the Eagles, I think, are a team where you could use this draft, which is very deep with a lot of excellent positional players, and add them into that lineup. You're probably right back in the playoffs. Or are you more worried about the future and you take Marcus Mariota? Look, let's face it. Chip Kelly could make Marcus Mariota. He could bring out the full potential of him in the NFL. I don't think there's another coach who could get the max potential of Marcus Mariota in the NFL. So that's something you've got to like. If you're Chip and you think you could fix the other holes in this team and you could win right now with Marcus Mariota, which I think he could. I think Chip's a very smart guy, very innovative. He just kind of gets it. I think it would be interesting, and I might pull the trigger on that. Now, there's still a lot of time that has to happen. This might not be entirely true. I do think it is probably true because let's be honest, we've always kind of had an inkling that Chip Kelly might have a kind of want to go up there and get Marcus Mariota. I think it would be kind of cool, him being reunited with his college coach. I think it could work. I think Marcus could work anywhere. It's just going to be, like I said, building the system, putting him in a system where he can succeed. Don't make him be what he isn't. He's not going to succeed like that. You've got to put him in the perfect situation, build the offense around his skill set, and he could have a lot of success in this league. Because when you're a smart guy, you will figure it out. That is going to do it for this segment, talking Marcus Mariota and the Philadelphia Eagles. Stay tuned with us, and we will be back in a bit.